Wow, I recently saw a fierce little insect on YouTube that preys on ants, a voracious carnivore in the insect world. What makes them fascinating is their sophisticated hunting technique. As ambush predators, they dig funnel-shaped traps in sandy soil to catch prey. It then injects enzymes to digest its victim externally, showing a remarkable feeding adaptation. What's surprising is that besides ants, it can hunt much larger bugs. In the sandy realm, it's virtually the apex predator. In this video, I'll create a miniature ecosystem and introduce a colony of ants. Additionally, I'll place some antlions in this small desert habitat, then observe how they interact within this environment. Have you ever kept antlions as pets? I'll film this fascinating 30-day journey. This is so interesting. Actually, I bought these antlions online. Lots of sellers offer these little insects. What's crazy? They're the cheapest animals I've ever purchased. Over 10 for just $2, shipping included. Almost unbelievable. My order arrived on the third day. Since these insects are known to fight and even eat each other, I was really worried. Could most of them have died? I couldn't wait to open the package and check on my little pets. Wow, they actually came individually packaged. This is the best pet supplier I've ever dealt with, super thoughtful. Plus, nearly all the insects arrived alive and in great shape. Oh my god, they're actually fighting in a chaotic brawl. To be honest, I thought they'd only fight inside the sand. I truly never expected them to remain this aggressive outside of it. Since the desert habitat wasn't ready yet, I quickly moved them into sand-filled containers to prevent fighting casualties. I also tried separating them individually. Unfortunately, my earlier mistakes still caused some casualties. I'm truly sorry about that. Alright, let's observe our tiny creatures up close. Turns out antlions walk exclusively backward, truly fascinating. Plus, their mouth parts are strong enough to handle small bugs with ease. Antlions actually make fascinating pets. They're quite cute and pose no harm to humans at all. Well, time to build a new home for these little creatures. Here are the materials for the setup. Let's start constructing a simple glass enclosure. Remember, antlions are actually larvae of antlion lacewings. They spend the majority of their lives in this larval stage, anywhere from 1 to 3 years or even longer. After metamorphosing into adults, they live less than a month. That's why creating a proper desert habitat is all we need to focus on. Next, we'll attach these rocks using clay. The clay mixture, made from less soil and elm bark powder, is completely eco-friendly. Before it dries, sprinkle fine sand over the surface. This helps it blend seamlessly with the desert environment. Then, layer volcanic rock at the bottom of the container. This porous stone absorbs water efficiently. Also, place a plastic tube at the base to ensure proper air circulation. This promotes healthier plant growth. Next, prepare the nutrient soil mixture. Combine peat soil, sand, gravel, and humus soil. Blend them thoroughly. Layer the nutrient soil to nourish the desert plants. Now, plant drought-tolerant species such as barrel cacti and other cacti. These low-maintenance plants thrive with occasional watering and minimal care. Always wear gloves when handling cacti. I learned this the hard way after getting pricked. The itching took days to subside. Okay, after laying down the sand, place a few small rocks onto it for accent. Scatter them loosely. To make it look more like a real desert, finish by adding 2 camel figurines. And that's the setup done. It looks pretty decent. Sorry to keep my little critters waiting. Time to move them into their new home. I placed each antlion into the sandy area one by one, trying to space them out a bit to give them room. They burrowed straight down into the sand, hope they settle in, and this place feels like home to them. Now, they need some downtime. They won't start setting up their pits right away. Let the little guys rest for a couple of days. 2 days later, Wow, this little patch of desert has transformed. Funnel-shaped pits have popped up in the sand, the handiwork of the antlions. Alright, I tried putting some larger food into the pit to see how the little guys would react. Oh my, they were really bold. When the food was too big to drag down, they even crawled out of the pit to grab it. Pretty aggressive. What's fascinating is that antlions don't chew their food like other animals. Instead, they suck out their prey's juices. With no leftover waste to get rid of, they take in but never put out. Absolutely fascinating. Well, since the antlion's main food is ants, how do I get some? For me, that might be the easiest part. I often bring plants in from outdoors, and without meaning to, I end up bringing back loads of ants. They've even started breeding like crazy in my room, pretty unsettling, but I can't use bug spray because of the other critters in here. It's a real headache. Seriously, there must be thousands of these ants crawling all over my place now. It's insane. I'm completely at my wit's end. No kidding, even my half-finished drinks have ants crawling all over the bottles. Look, I just gave the feeder roaches some veggies, and in under half an hour, the whole container is crawling with ants. They go absolutely wild, catch a whiff of food, and they swarm in. Downright scary. To lure the ants, I put out some honey, should be right up their alley. But I'm not sure it'll work. Ants are clever critters, and with all these pits in this little desert patch, they might just pass up the treat. First, dab some honey on the rocks. The smell is strong enough that the ants should find it quick. Plus, I'm putting a small container of honey in the desert setup too. That way, they've got a steady supply within easy reach. No worries about it drying out. Right now, some antlions are digging away, constantly flicking sand out of their pits. Half an hour later, ants picked up the honey scent and started venturing into this strange and dangerous desert. What a daring expedition! Can they dodge the traps these predators have set? Wow, a few brave ants started feasting on the honey. Turns out even they can't resist a sweet tooth. But luckily, these ants are clever enough to mostly dodge the traps. They skirted around the pits straight to the honey-dabbed rocks, and more kept showing up. Now, I wonder if the honey will attract as many as 1,000 ants. Let's watch and see. Truth is, plenty of ants have climbed onto the glass container, but they're holding back from venturing into the desert zone. Right now, some ants have reached the edge of the pits. Unfortunately for them, once trapped by an antlion, there's almost no escape. The harder they struggle to climb out, the deeper they sink into the sand. These antlions are such efficient predators that when ants cross their path, survival is nearly impossible. Truth be told, the ants never showed up in force. They're too clever for that. Some brave scouts that did reach the desert paid the price though. After all, this is antlion territory. Still, the honey's lure kept working steadily, with more ants trickling in to explore. After a while, ants started making their escape. Their numbers thinning out as they knew exactly how dangerous it was. Only a few stuck around, still enjoying the honey. 3 days later, the desert setups changed a bit. More pits have sprouted, and they're deeper too. But only a handful of ants still come for the feast. Most are steering clear of this hazard now. Day 30, and things look pretty much the same. Since I keep adding honey, we still get some ant visitors foraging. All in all, they've reached a pretty peaceful coexistence. Okay, that's all for today. Stay tuned for more fun pet content coming your way. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.